Welcome to the Value Dude, the best value in DFS. Today's video features 7 DraftKings value picks for the 2021 Open Championship. We'll also include a full course preview, 5 key stat categories for research, and 5 contrarian plays to gain leverage, plus a bonus golfer that's just completely mispriced, so stay tuned. And here we are, the final major of the 2021 Tour season. We've got 9 months to another major, so let's make this one spectacular. The Open Championship, Royal St. George's. This should be great. We've got a par 70, 7,189 yards. We've got bent grass greens. And get this, they've avoided cutting the rough. Per the course manager, they want to keep it thick so no one can come out and dominate. So keep that in mind. We're going to have a very thick rough this week. We've got a links style course. This is the 15th time that Royal St. George's has hosted the Open Championship. The average winning score of the Open Championship over the past 30 years is -9. However, at Royal St. George's, the past 3 times the championship has been played there, it's been -4.2. So that's a higher degree of difficulty than those other Open Championship courses. Keep that in mind. We go from having tons of birdies on tour these last few weeks to a scarcity of birdies this week. There'll be few and far between. And simply put, this is going to be a proper test. We've got to have golfers who do it all this week. All categories are going to need to hit on. We've got a 156 player field. We've got a top 70 cut, not top 65 like normally on PGA Tour. So keep that in mind. We get 5 extra golfers to try to get in the cut this week. So let's not forget about the weather. You want wind? We got a ton of it this week. 20 miles per hour Thursday, 20 miles per hour Friday, and then Saturday and Sunday we get a little bit of relief, 15 miles per hour. It'll taper off to around 13 miles per hour on Sunday. So yes, we're going to have a ton of wind. Keep that in mind as well this week. We have a link style course layout. We've got a very challenging week ahead of us. We need a very rounded golfer. Our 5 stat categories are as such. Number 1, strokes gained approach. Accuracy on approach will be key yet again this week. It's a top indicator at Royal St. George. So number 1 is strokes gained approach. And number 2, good driving percentage. Again, a measurement of the percentage of drives that result in a green of regulation, regardless of whether that's from the fairway or rough. This is a better indicator than driving accuracy, in my opinion. Number 3, strokes gained around the green. Scrambling and the ability to get up and down will be key this week. We also need very clean play around and on the greens. Number 4, proximity on approach, 175 to 200 yards. There's going to be 2 par 4s on this course, which are about 500 yards, extremely challenging. And there's also some other approaches that are going to give rise to this distance, and it's very key that we get locked in on this distance, 175 to 200 yards on approach this week. And our final category is strokes gained putting. These very challenging courses, we can use putting as an indicator. We certainly don't want to have a golfer that's going to come out, perform well up to the green, and then lose strokes on the green. So this week, we're going number 5, strokes gained putting. And so before we get to the value picks, I'd like to talk about DraftKings value itself this week. I think it's tremendous. I think there's so much value in the 8,000 or below range. I encourage you to go out and do your own research, develop your own value picks, and then compare those value picks to mine and other sources within the industry which you trust before you do your build. So let's rock and roll. We got 7 value picks this week. We got a major, and we're starting off with number 1, Will Zalatoris, 8,500 on DraftKings. He's 6th in approach. He's 28th in proximity from 175 to 200 yards. He's also 13th in green and regulation to boot. He did very well in his warm-up at the Scottish Open. I think he's a great price at 8,500 on DraftKings. Number 2, Scotty Scheffler, 8,200 on DraftKings. We've got a golfer who's 40th around the green, 42nd in good drive percentage. He finished 7th in the U.S. Open, 8th in the PGA Championship. He also performed well in the Scottish Open, and I think he's a steal at 8,200 on DK. Number 3, Shane Lowry, 7,900 on DraftKings, 40th in approach, 22nd around the green, and his links expertise should pay off this week at 7,900 on DraftKings. Our fourth value pick this week is Matthew Fitzpatrick, 7,900 on DraftKings. He is a very accurate driver. He's 60th in approach and 24th in putting this year. And he's on the heels of a second in the Scottish Open. I think it's just a little bit of a misprice by about 500 to 600 on DraftKings. Let's snatch that value up. Number 5, Abraham Answer, 7,600 on DraftKings, 30th in approach, 50th in proximity from 175 to 200 yards. He's first in good driving percentage, and he has a return to form as he finished in a top 10 in his last time on a PGA Tour event. 7,600 is a great price and a great value on DraftKings. Number 6, Robert McIntyre, 7,300 on DK. His European Tour stats show 12th around the green, 6th in green and regulation, and I think we have great value at 7,300. And our final value pick this week rounds out with Ian Poulter, 7,200 on DK, 21st around the green, 6th in putting, very good on links courses, and he rounds out our value picks. Be sure to get him and these other golfers rotating in and out of your builds. And let's not forget our 5 contrarian picks. We've got to gain some leverage on the field in these huge prize GPPs on DraftKings. Let's start out. We've got Christian Bezuidenhout, 7,400 on DraftKings, currently showing 6.3% ownership, 5th ranked in approach, 39th around the green, 28th in accuracy of driving, and 7th in green and regulation. Those are according to European Tour stats. We've got a very well-rounded golfer here who may be able to do it all this week. Make the cut, get us a top 15, and return tremendous value and leverage at 6.3% ownership at 7,400 on DraftKings. Number 2, Bernd Wiesberger, 7,100 on DraftKings, 10th ranked in approach, 29th in accuracy of driving according to European Tour stats, 15th around the green, and 8th in green in regulation. And this week he just needs to make the cut on a link style course. Let's take a chance at 7,100 on DraftKings. Number 3, Taylor Gooch, 6,800, 7% ownership, 38th in approach, 26th in proximity from 175 to 200 yards. He's also 45th around the green. He had some good performances recently, and I think he performs well this week at 6,800. Number 4, Richard Bland, also 6,800. We've got a trio of 6,800 players this week. Richard Bland is 34th in approach. He's 14th in accuracy of driving according to European Tour stats, 25th in green and regulation. We saw he could contend in the U.S. Open previously. He's back on home turf. Let's give him a go at 6,800 on DraftKings. And number 5, our final contrarian pick of the week is Lucas Herbert, 6,800 as well on DraftKings. 4 straight top 20s between the PGA Tour and the European Tour. We have a golfer who's in great form. Let's definitely take some shots at him at 6,800 on DraftKings. But we're not done yet. We got one more golfer. It's our bonus golfer of the week. We're going to take advantage of the fact that DraftKings released the pricing on their golfers prior to the conclusion of the John Deere Classic and the Scottish Open. We've got our bonus golfer of the week, severely mispriced, Sam Burns, 6,300 on DraftKings, 19th ranked in approach, 32nd ranked in proximity on approach from 175 to 200 yards. He's also coming off a stellar performance at the Scottish Open. Let's take advantage of this severe DraftKings misprice. There's several out there, but this one stands out the most to me. So let's get some shares of Sam Burns, 6,300 on DraftKings. So that rounds it out. We've got 7 DraftKings value picks. We've got 5 contrarian picks. We've got 1 bonus pick. Let's get these golfers rotating in and out of your builds. We will get you additional value this week at the Open Championship. I want to thank you again for joining me this week. Please like and subscribe. I'll be off on vacation for the 3M Open, but back for the Olympics following that. So to you all, please, good luck this week. Have fun. Enjoy the major. We'll see you next time.